Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to Kiki's Kitchen. Today I am going to be making what I call eggs in a basket, and I'm also going to be making some meatballs. The meat base is the same, it's just how you finish it off. And so that's what we're going to do today. I am using something that is non-traditional, which is ground chicken instead of ground beef. If you've never tried ground chicken, it's fabulous. Ground beef works fine. Trust me, I have meatballs that I do both ways. I'm making this just a little bit healthier. So if you'd like to use ground beef, by all means use it. So what I have in here is actually ground chicken, and there's about 2 pounds of it in here. I am making a lot of these things because this stuff, I have ground chicken, I have mild Italian sausage here, which is in a bulk, which I'll just go ahead and add in. And I have hot Italian sausage. Both of these are from Aldi, and they're both very, very good. But I will tell you that the Aldi's hot sausage is spicy. So if you like spicy, which of course, if you've watched me at all, you know we do, then get it. If you're not a fan, because it's pretty warm, and it's warm and delicious. So what I do is, see, it's a length, right? So I cut along the skin and I pinch off the skin because I don't want the toughness of the skin in my meatball, or in what I'm making is eggs in a basket. And what eggs in a basket are is it's basically going to be a patty of this meatloaf meatball mixture. And I'm going to cut the center out and make a hole in the middle of it so it will look like a meat donut. I'm going to fry it up until it's done. And then once it's done, I'm going to crack an egg and put an egg down in the hole of it and cook the egg just long enough for it to still be yellow and runny. And you can do it one of two ways. You can do it on the stove, which is what I'm going to do today. Or you can do it in the oven and put it on a bed of spaghetti sauce and then serve the whole thing over spaghetti. But I'm not doing that today. I'm just doing I'm going to serve this as more of a burger. So, let me get some hands washed up here. And actually, I can hear my husband has arrived. So, let him get by the camera. And I will be back to you in just 1 second. Hang in there. Okay, so what we have in here is and again, I'm going to give you your recipe is going to have a pound of your ground meat, whether you use ground beef, ground pork, ground chicken, ground turkey, ground meat, and then it's going to have a pound of sweet sausage and a pound of hot sausage. If you don't like hot sausage, then you just use 2 pounds of sweet sausage. That's what's in my bowl so far. So now I'm going to do my breadcrumb mixture. Now I like to do this before I cut my onions up because I like to have it soak into, I like to have it all soak into the breadcrumbs. So actually I am going to put, this is 3/4 of a cup, give or take, of grated Parmesan cheese. The reason I put that in now is because I wanted to use this cup as I flip it everywhere. And into my mixing bowl, I'm going to add, I'm going to add 2 eggs. I'm not sure whether the recipe tells you 1 or 2 based on how much I'm making. So I'm going to add 2 eggs for what I'm doing. But don't worry, like I said, don't listen to what I do. Listen to or read the recipe, which is always just above the video in the description box. So we've got that egg in there, which I'm going to beat up just a little bit. Then I'm going to add a cup to a cup and a half. Again, depending upon how much you're making. I'm going to start with a cup. And this is 2% milk, doesn't matter what, I mean, you can use buttermilk if you got buttermilk, doesn't matter what kind of milk you use. You can use rice milk. You can use whatever kind of milk you got. If you use almond milk, you might have a little hint of an almond, but that wouldn't be terrible. Okay, so here's my milk and my egg. And now I'm gonna add some breadcrumbs to it. Now, I'm gonna add a cup of Italian, or whatever happens to be in this. So basically a cup of Italian. And then I'm gonna do a half a cup of panko. Now remember, I have about 4 pounds of meat in there. So it may seem like a lot of breadcrumbs, but not to 4 pounds of meat. So now I can get rid of this and just kind of stir this in here. I like because this is a mama thing. This is what my mama told me. Whenever you're making meatloaf or whatever you're making, and actually I may put a little bit more breadcrumb in here, but I want you to see how soupy this is. You see how soupy that is? And always put that in before you start your mixture so it has a time to soak in there. So we'll check back with that when I finish with my onion. So my onion is cut the root end off, cut the stem end off, peeled it. And now what I'm gonna do, because I haven't shown you this in a while, I'm gonna put it on the end and I'm gonna go down about almost to the edge, almost to the end. You see that? Almost to the back, but not all the way because I want it to hold together when I slice it. I'm gonna do that a few times. This just makes, I mean, something as simple as chopping an onion can really, I mean, if an onion is a pain in the neck to chop, you know, you're not gonna get it even. This is a simple way to do it. So now I've gone in about 4 times that way. So now I'm gonna put it down on its face and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna go this way, not quite to the end because that's what's gonna hold it together. So I'm going almost to the back, but not quite. Several cuts. And then I'm gonna go back this way. And if you'll see that all of this is a perfectly diced onion. That very last one that we didn't get all the way through, I'm gonna flip it down, keep the nose of my knife down, mill it, keep your fingers out of the way, and don't look at the camera, look at your fingers. And there you go. And if you look at those, you see those are all pretty much the same size. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So, in that's gonna go. So this is kind of basically the same thing I do for my meatballs. I think well, actually I gotta remember that. I don't have any fresh garlic. I've been gone. And every time I go to the grocery store, my list gets bigger and bigger. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot this. And see, for me, I live like 20 minutes to the grocery store, at least. And so, you know, I keep things in my pantry so that I can make whatever I want, whenever I want. And so that list just keeps adding. And I've been gone for a week, and my husband came back and picked me up and said to me, you need to go grocery shopping. As in, there is no food in that house. Always in the freezer though. He had plenty to eat, didn't you? Uh-huh. So back this way. And this is one, you know, medium-sized onion, I would say. Sometimes you have to go back over that last piece and get it kind of cut down. So in it goes. All right. over here. Now I want you to see, remember how liquidy this is? Look how much that's absorbed. Can you see that now? There's no more liquid to it. It's absorbed nicely. And that's why my mom always told me to do that, because you want that breadcrumb to soak up the onion and the milk. And then you put it in here. Now, there are many who don't like to do this and get your hands dirty. My hands are clean. I mix it with my hands. To me, that's the best way to do it. So I'm gonna put this in here. I'll put about half of it in. And in we go, because I want to get the sausage and the egg and everything really fully incorporated. And to me, the only way to do that, because that's what my mama said, is with your hands. So I'm just kind of taking the sausage and kind of mushing that. That was on the top. And then I'm going to start pulling it from the bottom so I get it all together. I haven't seasoned it yet, you will recall. I just want to get this first mix done and put the rest of my breadcrumb mixture in there. Now remember, the breadcrumbs do have salt and seasoning in there, especially the Italian flavored ones. But I'm going to add even a little bit more seasoning to it. All right, we'll put the rest of this in here. Kind of spread it around the top. So again, kind of take from the bottom, pull to the top. Just keep mushing it together. Now, what I think I started to say, and don't know if I finished that thought, which is so totally not uncommon for me, is this was in the freezer. There's a sale on chicken. I bought the chicken and ground it myself. You can certainly buy ground chicken. So my chicken and my sausage were both in the freezer, which means I have to cook all of this meat off now. I cannot refreeze this. I cannot make it into meatballs and refreeze it. So what my intention is to make my meatballs and my eggs in a basket, and put them all and cook them all. And then I can put them in the freezer already cooked, which is so handy when I'm trying to come up with something for dinner. And I say, oh, I've got that whole thing of meatballs out there. All I got to do, and then I can take these meatballs, I can make them into Italian meatballs, I can make them into Swedish meatballs. I can do a whole lot of different things with them once they're already cooked. So, all right. Let me wash up my hands. Bear with me a second. I'm coming. I'm getting there. Okay, so to this now, what I want is, I want a little bit of granulated garlic. And you know, I always say that I like granulated garlic well over garlic powder, or certainly garlic salt. Don't like garlic salt at all. Now I am going to use a spoon because my meat is thoroughly mixed together. I just want to season it up. Put some garlic in there. I want some kosher salt. And some ground black pepper. I think I'm going to put a little bit more salt in there. And finally, some oregano. Yes, this is a Sprite bottle. This is what I keep my oregano in. Now remember, as I said, the Italian seasoning does have, or the Italian breadcrumbs already does have some seasoning, so we don't have to have a ton in there. Okay. I have to get a different spoon. That sharp edges on that thing are terrible. Hurt your hand. This is from my wonderful friend Chrissy in New Jersey. I get to see my Jersey girl in a couple of months. I'm excited about this. But she had these made for me. They say Kiki's Kitchen. I love them. And I love my Chrissy. She's too sweet. Okay, so much better. Oh my gosh, so much more comfortable than that sharp thing. All right. That looks good. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to make patties out of these. Show you. Hang on, let me get set up for that and I'll be right back. Okay, I decided that I would do my meatballs first. So I've got one of the full pan foil pans, and I do have a large cookie sheet underneath it. Whenever you use these pans, just make sure that you brace them because, you know, they can bow in the middle and hurt you. Aside from losing all the good stuff inside, they can burn you bad if you lose that. So always make sure you put a cookie sheet underneath them. So I'm using I don't know what this is. It's an ice cream scoop, but I don't know how many tablespoons. I'm gonna go with maybe 2 or 3. So they're pretty good sized meatballs. They will cook down somewhat, but by using a cookie sheet, I don't have to roll them and really cook them up, but they also are all the exact same size. So that's a good thing. They'll all cook at the same rate. I've got my oven preheated to 375. So once these are cooked and cooled, I will put them in a Ziploc. And I put them in more than one Ziploc because I got a lot of them. But they will also cook down in size. I will not leave my phone open to show you that probably. Oh, maybe, because I'm going to be making something else on top of the stove. But they will cook down in size somewhat. So, but it makes, like I said, whether you use ground chicken just makes it a little healthier, y'all. I mean, sometimes we want to go in that direction. And they're delicious. I kid you not. Ground chicken is so much better than ground turkey. I don't like ground turkey at all. Very rarely. You never see me use ground turkey. I don't like it. Ground chicken, more better. Okay, so that is a pan of meatballs. Let me wash my hands and I'll get you back and we'll do our eggs in a basket. Hang on. So, I had a bite. That's what it looks like on the inside. These are just delicious. Just absolutely delicious. So now they're all baked off. I'm going to let them cool. And they will be ready for anything I want to do with them. And they are just delicious. You really need to try the chicken. So, let me move this and get us set up for our eggs in a basket. Hang in there. Well, hey everybody, and we're back and we are making the last, so we've already made the meatballs. Now we're going to make what's called eggs in a basket. So I have my frying pan here, and I put just a little tiny bit of grease in it, not, of oil, canola oil in it, just a little bit. And I have patted the remainder of my meat. So all you're going to do when you take this, you patty it. Well, I'll re-patty this one just to show you. So just make your patty. This one's a little smaller than the other ones. And press it out in your hand. And then just take your finger and go in the middle and make a hole. And then lay it in your frying pan. So these ones are already done. I'm just going to... I did go through a period of time where I would put like a shot glass in the middle and try to cut the middle out. This is just the easiest way to do it because what we're making this hole for is for the egg to fall into it. So there that goes. These are magnificent burgers in and of themselves, but the eggs just put them over, because we're going to do this as burgers. Again, I do this over, over my spaghetti sauce in the oven. It's just delicious. So just kind of keep finessing it until you get a little hole. The easiest way to do it. And doing it in your hand versus trying to pick it up with a spatula, just easier. I'm telling you, I've tried it several ways. Okay, so let me wash my hands and I'll be back. Well, I gotta wash this hand here to be able to touch my camera, so hang in there. I'm coming. Okay, so I'm going to let these brown probably about, and I've got this on a medium high heat, and I'm going to cover them, cover them, and so that they cook through, because this is not something you want rare because it is chicken and sausage. So I'm going to cover them. I'm going to let them go for about 4 minutes, and then I'll flip them and let them go about another 4 minutes, and then we'll do the eggs. So I'll be back here when it's time to flip them. Hang in there. Okay, so it's been about 4 minutes, and I am flipping them all. They're nice and brown. Kind of play with that hole here. I'll flip them back over to the other side because that's the bigger side. And we're going to go another 4 minutes or so. We'll see what happens in 4 minutes. So we'll be back. I'm going to cover them again because, like I said, that steam is cooking the inside. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so that was roughly 4 minutes on each side. So if your holes have shrunk a little bit, just take a spoon and kind of make them a little bit bigger. Now, this is the other thing I want to tell you. At this point in time, you can take these out of here, let them cool, and freeze them without the egg. Obviously, if you're going to, and then freeze them, and then take them out, thaw them out, and then just put them back in here with a little bit, tiny bit of oil just to heat them, and then some steam, which is what you're going to see me do. I am going to crack my egg and slowly pour it in this hole. I don't care if the egg white runs out. I really want the yolk in the hole. I don't care if the egg white runs out. It's okay. And I am making these for tonight, so I'm going to make 3 of them. I'll keep 2 of them out, and they will either go for my husband's lunch tomorrow. No, they will go, there's no either to it. They will go for my husband's lunch tomorrow. This is one of his favorites. His and my niece, Christy Lee. Oh my God, that girl loves these things. And go with this guy. Just move these guys away. And actually, I can take these guys out of here now because they are done. Maybe. And I'll just let them cool. Now, the other thing is, my BFF does not like the white of an egg. She does not like the white of an egg. So, if I was making these for her, I would just simply separate the egg and just drop the egg yolk in there, which actually probably wouldn't be a bad idea anyway. May have to work on that idea because you really want the unctuousness. How about that word? But it is silky smooth. It's just delicious. And, oh, wait a minute. minute. I lost my egg. Little sucker slipped off. Get back up there. This will suddenly turn into mine in a heartbeat, I can assure you. And away. There we go. Stay put. The better idea is probably to separate the egg. But we like the egg white, so this we will serve as part of it. So now what I'm going to do is, because I want those to steam, I'm going to put a little water in here. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit to a medium high. And I need there we go, my hot pad holder. And I'm creating steam by adding a little bit of this water. So I'm going to add a little water here. And let it steam, because I just want the eggs to cook enough where they're just nice and runny. So we'll be back in just a second. Okay, they're done and perfect. Perfect. So I'm going to put this on a bun. And there you go. That's what it looks like. And it's just so good when that cracks open and all that stuff goes everywhere. It's a mess, make no mistake, but it's really good. So I hope you try either this or the meatballs. The point is, you can do a whole lot ahead of time, and this is a new one. So try it. Good night.